Oh, yes. Y'all know what time it is. It's time to get new direction from the monolith, and we learn new skills for the new millennium, I guess. I don't know. No, what's really happening is it's new base time. You didn't think that would be a thing, did you? Alright, so far so blank. Unlike my other base deliveries, this gives no indication what this even is. But here's a hint. Alright, well, so far so good. Can't wait to unwrap this. Alright, I was hoping it came with some kind of gig bag. It does not. It's fine that it doesn't. But just to be thorough with the old unboxing, I want to just let you guys know that. Now, if somebody comes up with some other deal, some other way, then great, I defer to that. But just literally straight out of the box, it's just the base and really nothing else. There it is. Second generation. I got the P5. I got it for retail with free shipping, domestic US. When I do the talk to the camera thing, I'm going to have some words about this situation. I am over the moon that I've got this, because it just wasn't looking like it's going to be a thing like in my lifetime, the way things were going. But I got it. It's that string through construction that I like. Roasted maple. Really like the set and finish on the back. I was freaking out because I was looking at somebody else's video, and you can see it here. See that gloss on the fretboard? It's just on the fretboard. I was starting to break down, like, well, maybe I should just get a Squire special there to have a P bass. And I'm like, no, don't settle, man. Just get the thing you've been wanting to get. And this was the one I really, really, really wanted. Now, not the color, although it's debatable. I mean, all three colors I'm not super excited about. But in this instance, I had no say in what color I got. It was literally first available. So here it is. Now, having gotten it, so far so good. Loving what I'm seeing so far. I can't wait to get checking this out. For reals. So you're going to wonder, why if I got the Zematis, why if I got the Greco, do I need this? Especially when I had a Sire, and they didn't go so hot. Apples and oranges. It was a Sire Jazz. And the Sire Jazz could not stay relevant against something like the Zematis. That's just the long and the short of it. In fact, it was a short video about it somewhere in my back catalog. Whereas this is a roast maple neck P bass for $500 US. I'm here to tell you, don't sleep on Reverb or eBay. In this case, Reverb. So having unboxed the bass, and that's all it was just the bass. Would have liked a gig bag, as I said, but if it didn't come with one, it's not the end of the world. I have a gig bag already. So here's the deal and the story. I kept looking at Sweetwater because they were the only place that I knew domestic in the US that sold Sire basses reliably. And all their Sire selection basically went somewhere in the last year or so. And I was like, well, I'll just keep an eye out and just keep watching and watching. And it just never freaking showed up. They'd fooled me a couple of times. They're like, get ready, here it comes, any day now. Okay, no, actually, indefinitely forever, no. And I finally got fed up. Like, look, I need to know, do they even make these things? Because if this isn't real, and they're not going to ever have these, and whoever they is, like in this case, Sweetwater, then I just need to know, like, if I want a P bass, what am I getting instead? Because as much as I'd love to have a Sire P5, it's just not happening, apparently. Well, one day I went on Reverb, and I'd been like tuning out Reverb because of YouTube. And it's just bitch on YouTube about Reverb, about, oh my God, the prices are jacked, and you don't know what you're getting, and everything's all fake news, and whatever the crabbing is. And I really think that depends on the product that you're looking at. I don't think Reverb in and of itself is a bad thing. He says, having shopped at Reverb now. But I do think that, just like what with eBay, I mean, eBay is great for people jacking the price on things that, like, you can go like to the store down the street. And we're not even talking about electronics anymore, but like it could be like anything. Something that you can just go down the street and like something's $4. You go on eBay, it's $44. Like, come on, this is bull. Like, who are you fooling here with this $44 price tag when you can just go down the street and get it for $4? Well, they're not targeting you, the person who knows that. They're targeting people who don't know that it's $4 at the store, or they live somewhere where, it's a deal at $44. Or they can't be bothered with, research and facts and figures and stuff, so they're just going to click buy it now and be done with it and overspend. So in the case of Reverb, yes, people do tend to jack the price a lot, depending on what's going on and what the item is. But just like eBay, somebody can come along and poach and be like, all right, you guys can jack the price to the moon and back all you want, but I'm just going to come in here at suggested retail and kill you. So somebody did that on Reverb. Some place in California put up 2 Sire P5s, and this is one of them. The other one was in 18 carts. And I wanted to poach it so bad just to like piss people off. And I clicked the next listing. It was the same guys, same base, no carts. All right. So I clicked on that one and took it. And I immediately texted my brother. And I said, if you really want a P5 like you said you did, here's your chance. Get it now. And he can be the jerk that poaches the carts. He said, no, he's good on bases. He's not going to do that anymore. All right, fine. I let you know. I did my good deed. Sure enough, I hit refresh. All gone. We're back at domestically, if you can get it. They've jacked the price way, way, way up. And you probably can't get it domestically, so then you have to get it from like Europe. And they could be like, oh, well, it's less than retail, and then the shipping will kill you. So, no, you're not saving getting it from Europe. So, the thing that's so funny is I was going to do a video about why aren't we here in the U.S. talking about the Sire P5 and how we can't get them. Because it just, for all the demand and all the hype, you clicked on this for this vase, didn't you? Right? All the hype, all the demand, like, why aren't we talking about where are these things? Well, I still don't have an answer for that. I mean, other than I got one. But all I can say is keep an eye on eBay, keep an eye on Reverb, and be prepared to strike. So that's what I did. That's, with all the jazz behind me, that I'll talk about some other time. I don't want to ramble any more than I already do on my videos without scripting. I try my damnedest that if I'm going to get something like, say, the Beat Step, I'm going to get it and strike at a price and an opportunity that I just can't get some other way. So that's what this was. Now the funny thing is, this is not paid off yet. And so to pile on with yet another base financed, it's a bit leveragey, but it's spread out over a year. They both are. So this is already in progress, spread out over a year, and then this is newly spread out over a year. These monthly payments are lower than these monthly payments. So my goal is to hurry up and pay this off, or hurry up and pay this off and either commit to the one payment or the other, but not have both going concurrently. But what I did, and again, I'm not in any way sponsored. So trust me, if I was sponsored, I mean, I'd have this a long time ago. Because like Lobster, he got one of these. So, and he's sponsored and stuff. Now, he might have bought his P5 with his own money. I don't know. It was a long time ago. But the point is, Lobster had one of these a long time ago, and no one else had one. And that's a natural fact. So, with a firm is what I use to finance it. Again, not sponsored. I'm just telling you the scoop as to what I did. And that's what I did. So with a firm, it gave me the opportunity to strike and grab it and then sort out the finances later. So just letting you know, it's a thing. I don't recommend leveraging yourself to the hilt. But, you know, sometimes you gotta strike like a viper, get in, get out, make it happen, sort it out later, but grab that opportunity, and here it is. All right, my expectations going into this were astronomical, rightly or wrongly. Now, if you like geeked on this, like I'm geeked on this, you've been watching all the videos, you looked at Lobster, you looked at Johnny Dibble, you looked at Anderton's music, and you're all pissed that they have it and you don't. Now you can be pissed that I have it and you don't. It's the circle of life. But I've been lusting after this for God knows how long. So dues have been paid over here, people. What do we know about this, and when do we know it? Well, we know it's got a roasted maple neck. We know that it retails for US $500 these days. Expect the price to go up any minute now because of inflation and price jackery that's been going on. I don't know for 100% fact, but I'm going to assume these are Alnico pickups for $500. They better be, is what I'm saying. They did not string through this, but they could have. So I have new strings to restring this with. I'm a massive fan of string through construction. So my Greco has it. My Zematis does not. The Zematis sounds like it does, so it makes up for it. But I love my Greco with that string through resonance, and I expect that to happen here when I restring it with string through with flats. Right now there's round wound strings on here, which I'm not crazy about, but they're fine for right now. They were fine out of the box. They'll last a week or so, and then I'll put the flats on and be happier that I did. How's the sound? Again, you've probably been checking out other videos that do the sound treatment, so I'm not going to really go deep into that, but I will have some sounds at the end of this video for you to check out if you so desire. It's a P-bass, so it's a very rich, resonant P-bass. It's what I wanted. It was what I was lusting after for $500. It was the tone I was after in a P-bass. With the Sire jazz bass that I ended up getting rid of after a really short time, it couldn't stay relevant against the Zematis or the Greco. But it's apples and oranges. Those were all J basses. This is a P bass, so it's something of a different animal. So the resonance and the richness, I mean, not that I can't get that off of these other basses, but I can't get it in the way that I can get this. But in turn, this can't do what this can. So it is a trade-off. But the other thing is $1,400 financed, $500 financed. Guess which bass is leaving the house more often? Yeah, buddy. I really, really love the satin neck. I was gonna just break down and get a stupid Squire and be done with it because I was just getting so pissed having to wait around for these P5s that seemed like they were never, ever, ever gonna get manufactured and sold here. And then I saw someone's video in England. I'm like, oh no! It's like lacquered neck, front and back. Like, I hate those because that's what the stupid Squire has. And it just doesn't work well for me, especially here in this Florida heat. No, it's a satin neck on the back and it's glossy front. So, yes, we can live with that. It's I believe, if it's not a bone nut, it's like synthetic bone, I guess. It's got the rolled, I didn't even think about this, it's got the rolled fret edges. It's just a nice feeling bass. Can I get a rough idea of how many frets? 14, 16, 18, 20? If my math is right. One more time, 14, 16, 18, 20. Yep. Yeah, I'm over the moon. I'm so happy that I got this. I'm so glad I gave Reverb one more try. Like, well, what if, and there it was. Retail, shipped for free, packed well, came in the original box, bubble wrapped to within an inch of its life. So at some point I'll peel off the second generation sticker. I'm just leaving it on right now to show off. But yeah, everything you think about this bass is true. And again, they didn't pay me to say that. This is my own money, my own shenanigans I got going on here. But I want to let you know, because we have a limited sphere of information of where we can get this information from, and it's mostly England. And we all have different criteria of like what we think is good, right? So as an example, I don't want to pick on them because it's very much apples and oranges. Lobster is a completely different person than me. I don't in any way compare myself to Lobster, and I shouldn't, and I don't, okay? So I'm not dissing Lobster. What I'm saying is Lobster has different criteria for what's good than I do. And in turn, that's probably true for you as well. So what I'm saying, though, is if you've been lusting after this and you've been like reading the specs and you've been hitting refresh over and over at Sweetwater and getting pissed off that you can't get one of these, you're not wrong. You are not wrong to lust after this thing because, oh my God, this is the shit. Now, here's one other thing. I keep saying about prices getting jacked and inflation and all that. Again, domestic U.S. The world's a big place, and who knows who's doing what where. What I can say, the value that this represents at $500 US is astronomical. But jack the price to $700 or $800. I got my Greco, man. I got my Greco J bass, and I am just fine. So to have a P bass of this quality and this value, whoosh, strike like a viper. Especially if I didn't have the Greco, right? But jack that price, $300. I can't justify it. Now we're starting into the realm of like, well, maybe I should look at the Schecter P4, you know? Or even the Schecter P4 Exotic. I mean, just in for a penny, in for a pound at that point, right? Personally, I find it very hard to get excited about like spending more than $500 on a P bass. it's a really hard sell. And after a while, I mean, what are you selling me? You're selling me wood, is what you're selling me. There's really nothing else you can really do to it. What are you going to put in? Bartolini's or whatever? Fine, put in Bartolini's. But it's a P bass, dude. I mean, there's a certain sound and quality and character that we want out of these things. So if you're going to get way flippin' exotic, do you want a P bass? You know, are you made of money? What's your deal? I don't know. But at any rate, for $500 US, ship for free. Yes, absolutely. If you can find it and cash in and get it, get it. And if Sweetwater, like tomorrow, if they show me up and they're like, we are made of P5s, great. Well, time to load up at Sweetwater, I'd say. Time to cash in those chips and get yours. But there's other retailers, you know. Now, Guitar Center, not so much. I got my J bass from Guitar Center and sold it back to them after about 3 months. But it was such a fluky deal, I thought that they even had one. It introduced me to Squire. It introduced me to Sire. It introduced me to the rolled fret edges and stuff. But it just sadly was outclassed by what came after. And that was the only sin there. I mean, really honestly. But I wouldn't say like, oh, keep an eye on Guitar Center to see if they have these things, because they're not. If they do, that's wonderful. If they want to pants me and make a lyre, I mean, well, that's wonderful and great, get it. One other quick thing, this picture on Sweetwater looks awful. So I really didn't want this finish, but in person, it's gorgeous. So none of the finishes really excited me as far as like, oh, that's the color I want, because I prefer, you know, black. But for sunburst or this tobacco sunburst stuff, can't complain. All right, so what's your P5 status? Are you geeked more than ever? Do you not give a damn? Do you figure the only difference between Squire and Sire is the Q? Let me know in the comments, because if you let me know, you let us know, and it's a learning environment around here. I'm going to have the tones coming up next. So I did no tone, half tone, full tone, just playing the same thing over and over just for consistency. Check it out. It's YouTube. It's not the greatest place to hear all this, but here we are. But let me know. I hope that this was informative. I hope that if you weren't already geeked for this, that you're geeked now. If you weren't already pissed that you don't have one, I hope you're even more pissed now. I mean, because, you know, we got to get these, man. What the hell, Sire? What the hell, Sweetwater? So keep learning, keep playing, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.